Yes, Mr. Matapo, you're welcome to make your speech. I'm going to give you the floor to do so.
Thank you very much. So I am going to be giving my end of year speech. I am the leader of Zimbabwe People Power Movement, ZPPM. I'm also a politician because I am the leader of United Crusade for Achieving Democracy. Remember, some people might not know that I also lead a political party. I am a president of Zimbabwe, of United Crusade for Achieving Democracy. So today is the last day of 2020. I'm going to give my end of year speech. And from there, then I can answer any questions that might come. So I will begin my speech. I would like to speak to you all today as the leader of the largest Zimbabwean citizens movement, called the Zimbabwe People Power Movement, ZPPM. I'm aware that as we approach the new year 2021, and as we leave the year 2020, most of us do not know where we are heading to, as there seem to be darkness at the end of the tunnel. People do not know exactly where we are heading to as a nation, because we are facing difficulties, we are facing problems. 2020 brought us so many challenges. Allow me to remind the nation that right at the beginning of this year, I came before all of you, I addressed the nation and assured you all that your citizens movement, ZPPM, was going to deliver new Zimbabwe to you. I assured you that never was going to come again, never was I going to come again to you. I assured you so many times that we were going to deliver the change. So I was never going to come to you again outside New Zimbabwe. This assurance came against a background of ignorance of the fact that there would be natural disasters, the likes of COVID-19 in particular. Yes, there were other challenges that include our failure to pass the word of ZPPM across our nation. I can surely admit that we failed to meet the deadline that we had set. Failures happen in life. We failed. It is not wrong to fail, but it is wrong to continue failing. It is not bad to make mistakes or shortcomings, but it is foolishness to repeat mistakes. ZPPM is not a political party, but a social movement, and we remain a social movement with activities, or rather whose activities are political in nature. In the process, we condemn any wrongdoing by particularly those running government. Our government has over the years proved to be a government of failures, a government full of uncaring people. There is stealing of resources, our precious resources, throughout our government. Our government, government departments, including councils, everywhere there is looting going on. Thieves are now a common feature in our nation. Should we continue to tolerate that as a nation? The practice of election rigging has been normalized in our nation. Elections are no longer elections in their rightful definition. but a shame. It is pathetic to say the least. We are aware as ZPPM of a plot to have an official opposition leader within the august house. This position is equivalent in pecs with a cabinet minister. This is no different from the exercise of the Political Parties Finance Act or Finance Grant that is being awarded to certain political parties while the rest are discriminated. There are efforts by ZANU-PF to bribe the outstanding political players and thereby silencing them. I can assure you, Zimbabweans, that we do not do, if we do not do something now or as soon as is possible, the regime is coming up with shenanigans that are meant to keep them in power forever and in perpetuity. We have to use people power if we need change soon. Otherwise, whatever is going on, whatever is happening, is meant to benefit a few individuals, particularly the outstanding political players. There is a plot to come up with a government of national unity, which shall be called in whatever name. And that government of national unity shall be meant to only benefit a few individuals, the major political players that we have, both in ZANU-PF as well as in opposition. And those are going to benefit, of course, but at the expense of the nation. Is this what we want? This government of national unity that is coming is going to drag us up to possibly 2027 or 2028. You will see it being concluded around 2022, so that then it can go for 5 years. And after then, elections will be conducted and there will be rigged elections as well. That will give Emmerson Mnangagwa a second, actually 3 terms that will be regarded as 1 term. Because after that GNU, then elections will be rigged and will give Mnangagwa another term. This is why he said by 2023, he will still be there, because he was sure to use means that are outside what the Constitution says, and nobody will challenge it because they are using a tactic that they are going to use. This GNU is going to be different from the one that you experienced in 2008. And if people of Zimbabwe, we are not careful, we are going to have difficulties. We are going to suffer consequences as Mnangagwa and his family and ZANU-PF top guys, as well as some opposition leaders, will be enjoying the sweat of Zimbabweans, our resources. And we need to do something. So we have to come up and unite and do something if we need this status quo to change. Certainly, we are in trouble as Zimbabweans. It is time that we should unite. Mnangagwa has been the chief strategist for Mugabe. During Mugabe era from 1980, it has been Mnangagwa who has been playing the game, who has been doing the rigging, and he is very tactful. He knows very well how to rig elections. He might not know how to run government, but he is very good in stealing elections. Is this what we want? He is the one using this tactic so that then they can drag elections to either 2027 or 2028. And this is going to happen if we are not careful. I'm just trying to warn you, Zimbabweans, so that as Zimbabweans, we can come up with something that can help us. I have said before that it is not a mistake to make a mistake, but it is foolishness to repeat mistakes. Should we repeat mistakes that we have always been doing? We need to change. We have to overcome or avoid all these losses by ZANU PF. And we can only do this by changing the way we fight for freedom. Should we continue to follow methods that put us in the hands of ZANU PF? Elections will put us in the hands of ZANU PF. I'm not saying don't go for elections, but just know that elections will not help. And so we need to come up with something different. We have to unite and do what has never been done before. We are not a violent society, and we shall not use violence, but people power. This is an acceptable way of taking power from a dictator. ZPPM is your platform. Join and be part of the rest. We will never get tired or be cowed by anyone. Yes, we failed to make it in 2020, but that shall never be forever. Thank you all those who managed to see reason to be part of ZPPM and for the good work that you are doing so that freedom can come. Freedom is around the corner. Keep on encouraging others to join the people's movement. Together we shall make it. May 2021 bring along positive energy into your life and brightness each and every day with happiness and goodness. Warm wishes to all of you in 2021. Thank you very much. My name is Albet Matapo.
Right, Mr. Matapo, thank you very much for your statement. And now we're going to go directly into the questions. And if someone wants to talk to you live here, the number is on the screen. You can WhatsApp me. I'm going to add you onto the screen. So I want to start with the question of, you admitted that you missed the deadline, and you admitted that the approach that you took was not accepted by the majority of the Zimbabweans. What is going to happen next?
No. We missed the deadline. I admitted that we missed deadline. And it's not like Zimbabweans did not accept the approach. Zimbabweans are very happy of the approach. But because of limited resources, we could not reach everybody. We need every other Zimbabwean to know the existence of ZPPM, the modus operandi of Zimbabwe People Power Movement. Some people come over to us and say, are you a political party? Are you competing with other political parties and so on and so forth? So we are not a political party. Our modus operandi will not change. It is only that we could not go around and reach everybody as we needed to do. But we are moving along the same footsteps.
Okay, but you had said you are going to give a signal and people are going to see the signal happening. They won't be needing to be told. So you gave a very detailed description of what was going to happen. It was not just people coming to ZPPM, but it was ZPPM implementing a program that will result in the removal of Mnangagwa, that will result in a national transitional authority. So what you're explaining now is different from that.
No. Okay. No. What is ZPPM? That's an important question. ZPPM is, is the coming together of all of Zimbabweans. So for people of Zimbabwe to see action, And if that action is not done by Zimbabweans, then who else can do it? It's ZPPM, it's Zimbabweans. It's the coming together of all people of Zimbabwe. The point is, it cannot be everybody coming in, but we have to have people, under Zimbabwe People Power Movement. And that's why I said people will see action. The signal will be in the form of action. And certainly the signal will be in the form of action that will be taken by Zimbabweans within different areas of Zimbabwe. It might not be everybody, but certainly it has to have sufficient Zimbabweans to take action which will be seen by others that might not have been part of it, or that might not be able to take similar action. Remember, we have got youngsters, we have got the elderly people who cannot be part of any action. And so we are trying by all means to make sure that we educate people from different parts of Zimbabwe so that then they can be part of the signal. Signal is not a whistle. Signal is not like I will be on top of a mountain, saying, here is signal. Signal is not about coming to the media and say, I am giving signal. No, but it will be in form of action that will be, acceptable by Zimbabweans.
Okay. I want to go back a little bit more. You had said that you are going to lead the action that is going to take place. So people are now confused. Are we going to have an event, or are we going to have a demonstration? Can you explain more now what is going to happen? Because I think it's a bit difficult now for us to understand whether we're going to see Mnangagwa's removal, or we're going to see, because they're saying elections don't work. So give us more detail.
Yeah. Actually, the aim of Zimbabwe People Power Movement is not to remove Mnangagwa, but is to take power from him, because he does not deserve the power. He was never given that power by the people. So the aim is to take power from him, not removing him. He will remain Zimbabwean, he will remain part of us, but we will take power from him and give it to the appropriate people that deserve to have that power. And I will be leading from the front. That's why I am saying there will be action, and that action is led by me. I cannot give finer details, or rather finest details, because once I do that, then I'm exposing the whole thing to the enemy. We are not doing something that is illegal, but people power is legal in terms of international standards, in terms of our Zimbabwean standards. Remember, people power, using people power is in the constitution. It's not written as using people power, but there is a provision in the constitution that allows the people of Zimbabwe to use people power and take power from whoever is refusing with the power. So I will not give much details, because you see, every people power has got its own ways and tactics that are used to achieve it. So for now, I will retain that. I will keep it until we get to a certain point.
Okay, but you had said that you've got people in the military, you talk to people in the prisons. We need to understand more. Is this still the approach? Do you still have people that are on the ground? What is happening? Because when we started out, it appeared as if you were using you had people in the security structures who would be able to cause change.
The point is very, very important question, I think. People need to understand that. When we say Zimbabwe People Power Movement, ZPPM, is a social movement, we mean to say every Zimbabwean can join ZPPM, because it's not a political party. The constitution says civil servants cannot hold positions within political parties, but it does not say they cannot hold positions, they cannot join activities of social movements. So ours is a social movement. So we talk to every Zimbabwean. I said every Zimbabwean, including those in the military, those in the security sector, including CIOs and police officers. We tell them that, look, you are suffering because you are supporting, you are taking illegal orders. People who are giving you orders to kill Zimbabweans, to make Zimbabweans suffer, are illegal people. And those orders are illegal. So you must stop taking illegal orders. And this is what we try by all means to convince those in the security sector. So that then when the people of Zimbabwe eventually come out there and say, right, we are now independent of this devil government, this evil regime, then the security members of the security sector, they will join in because they are part of Zimbabweans. So I am saying to all Zimbabweans that in your houses, you have soldiers, you have police officers, you have CIOs, you have prison officers in your houses. Talk to your brothers, talk to your children, talk to your fathers, talk to everybody, your sisters who are working in the security sector, so that they understand that it is not good for them to brutalize Zimbabweans on the day that Zimbabweans come out in their millions to demand for change. This is what we are doing as Zimbabwe People Power Movement. We are going to everybody. Every Zimbabwean is responsible for that task to talk to the members of the security sector. We have them. The exercise continues. We have never rested. We are going on. But we can't give much details. But with this little detail that I've given, people of Zimbabwe, you have tasks to do. Please play your part. Talk to your brothers. Talk to your relatives who are in the security sector so that they can join when Zimbabwe People Power Movement eventually says, let's go.
Okay. I think it's a bit difficult for people who've been following you over the past year to digest what you're saying, because everyone was expecting a signal that is going to be visible. Because you said your signal will be visible and they're going to give it. Everyone is going to see you giving the signal and there'll be no doubt. Is this not what Chamisa said? You're not doing what Chamisa said. He said he'll give a signal and then everything just went away. Are you not doing the same?
Yes, I am not doing the same. I said I was going to give a signal, and I'm still saying I'm going to give a signal. I said the signal will be visible, and I'm still saying it will be 100% visible. That's why I'm saying when eventually we give that signal, nobody will doubt it because it will be a visible signal. That's why I'm saying it is not going to be a signal on the press. It is because the signal on the press does not work. A signal on top of a mountain will not work, but it will be in form of action that men and women will be taking, and I'll be in front. I'll be leading that action. And that is how people will see it. That is how everybody will appreciate this action.
Okay, I've got someone who wants to join and ask you a question, so I'm going to give you the floor. Let us just listen to Rizivire. That's your name on the screen. Please remember to follow the community guidelines. We've got a lot of people watching. Please, you can ask a question.
But with this little detail that I've given, people of Zimbabwe, you have tasks to do. Please play your part.
Please ask a question. We want to hear you.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Gambakwe. Right. I just want to find out from Mr. Matapo. He's saying that he's got a plan. Right. If he has got a plan, how is he going to mobilize the people or execute his plan when he's outside the country? He needs to be on the ground to be able to mobilize the people. Don't you think that everybody is listening to him and they want to know how he is going to mobilize the people to execute his plan?
Should I
Yes,
answer?
Mr. Matapo, you can hear the question.
Yes, I heard the question. Thank you very much, madam, for a very nice question, a brilliant question. I'm not very sure exactly what you mean by being on the ground. We have got so many of Zimbabwe People Power Movement actors who are on the ground, who are mobilizing people. We have training workshops that are going on in Zimbabwe. We have people who are moving door to door. We have people approaching so many different people. Yes, we are talking on social media as we are doing, but that does not mean that we are just seated. There is a lot of work that is going on the ground. You might not know, or you might not have heard of it, but maybe you need to listen a little more. You will see that there is a lot of activities that are going on the ground by people from Zimbabwe People Power Movement. I hope you are answering.
I do understand that, Mr. Matapo, but you as the leader, this is what I'm saying, you as the leader, how come you're not there on the ground? Right in Zimbabwe, people want to see you. Like we see Chamisa, we talk to him. People want to see you, talk to you, and then you can hold all these things like what do we call them?
Rallies.
Rally, yeah, like conferences, and then people will attend, and then people can actually get your opinion about this.
There are circumstances that make people not be on the ground. I am leading Zimbabwe People Power Movement. Remember, I started the Zimbabwe People Power Movement long back. We started this in 2004. And in 2007, I was arrested, I was put on treason charges and stayed in prison for 7 years on remand on treason charges. I mean, ZANU-PF wanted to kill me. So I cannot expose myself so that then I can be put on treason charges again. Those treason charges that I spent 7 years at Krubi maximum prison without trial, without conviction, are still pending even today.
Okay.
Are you aware?
I think let us
Google my name and check. You will see all this. So don't worry about that.
I think let us
we are working on something that will help Zimbabweans.
Okay, let's move forward. I think, Mr. Matapo, the question is not answered. Okay. The question is not answered that if you can't go to Zimbabwe, how do you hope to ever bring change to Zimbabwe if you cannot go to Zimbabwe?
Yeah, that's why I said, maybe you didn't listen to the last part. I said there is a lot that we are doing. We are using various means. You don't have to worry about that. I am not in Zimbabwe. I don't go to Zimbabwe, but I go to Zimbabwe. I mean, don't worry about that. That cannot be said here on social media. Just know that we have tactics that we use. And I'm not on the ground, but I'm on the ground. That should not be a worry, because those who want to reach to me, they will reach to me. And there is a lot that I'm doing on the ground. I don't know how I can actually put it. I cannot be I cannot do the way the Chamisas are doing it, the Monzoras are doing it, and so on. We are different in nature because of our background, like the background that I've just given to our sister. I hope she has understood my position. Oh, I mean, would it be good enough for me to go to Zimbabwe, get killed, or get arrested and given trumped up charges, thrown into prison? How do I lead like that? But it's better now. I'm talking to you, and the way I'm talking to you, I'm also talking to many people. I hold meetings. I have said there are a lot of workshops, training workshops happening in Zimbabwe. And those workshops are happening with my input. So that's in short what I can say.
Okay.
I mean, she's free.
Madam, are you happy, madam, with the response that you got? Can I let you go now? Okay, I think I've lost it, so I'm going to remove it from the screen. I want to add another guest, but before I add another guest, Mr. Matapo,
Yes.
people want clarity from you. At the moment, we are not getting clarity, unfortunately.
Okay. All right.
What you are telling us is not convincing.
Okay. Maybe.
So I'm not
maybe
convinced. As you can see me right now, I'm not convinced in what you're saying. I want to be convinced. You were doing a petition.
Yeah.
Where is the petition now? You reach 4 million people. Where is that petition?
Yes. Yeah, we still haven't submitted the petition to United Nations and other organizations because there is a lot of resources that are required. We need to make photocopies of a lot of documents because we need to send them. Remember what we did was we put this petition online and we also made manual petition copies. And these manuals are much more than the online, signatures. And so those manual ones, we need to photocopy them and hand deliver them. And we are still battling with resources to be able just to submit them. I hope you bear with us. We appeal to Zimbabweans, but because of hardships, sometimes some people can't afford, but we are doing the best that we can do. We are going to submit the petition as soon as we get sufficient resources to be able to submit them. That's where we are.
Okay, but that is the point I'm trying to make. If you cannot submit 4 million photocopies, how can you remove Mnangagwa?
No. What removes Mnangagwa is not money. It's tactic. And tactic and money are two different and completely, there are opposition parties that have got money, that are getting money now and again, but they are still failing because they don't have the tactic. So these are two different things, money and tactics. So we are using and we will use tactics to be able to get where we want to get to. But resources is something else. That's what is actually delaying us to be able to move from one point to another and educate all Zimbabweans. If we had sufficient resources, we could do these workshops one day and, in a short space of time, we are somewhere. But that's not possible. But anyway, we are doing with what we have. The little that we have, we are moving.
Okay, but people were saying you are actually Mnangagwa agents who are trying to distract people from the real opposition. From what is happening now, do you blame people for saying that?
Yes, I blame them because, you see, it doesn't hold water for them to say we are agents of Mnangagwa, because if we are agents of Mnangagwa, then we would form a political party. We are not worried about the elections going on. And we don't, Zimbabweans can join the Zimbabwe People Power Movement as well as remaining in their political parties. There is no competition because yes, we are doing political activities, but that do not lead to elections. So as long as we are not going to participate in elections, how do we disrupt them from the modus operandi or the way by which political parties wish to take power from Mnangagwa is through elections. We do not use the elections way. So how do we disrupt people from joining political parties? That then, if people can answer that, then yes, if they can convince us that yes, the way you want to disrupt is 1, 2, 3, then we can say, oh, okay, that's fine. But I don't think so. It's only,
okay.
It's only, unless people have got it in their mind just to say no, they want to disrupt. But how? How do we do what? How do we disrupt?
You are saying elections don't work. So people are starting to think that elections don't work. But your alternative is not materializing.
Okay. Yes.
Well, that is how we are disrupting everything.
The question of elections not working does not mean people must not go and vote. We are not saying that. All Zimbabweans can register, go and vote. That's okay. But still, that does not stop Mnangagwa from rigging. Unless if people are saying Mnangagwa has not been rigging in the past, or ZANU has not been rigging. If we are manufacturing this, if we are creating that ZANU does not rig, then if people are convinced that ZANU does not rig, then it's okay. Let's all focus on voting. But I thought that as ZPPM, we are of the position that voting, we have been going for elections now and again, and those elections, yes, we have been winning, but ZANU has been rigging those elections. So we must come up with another way by which we can get to results. Yes, we have not managed to do it in 2020, but that does not mean that it will be forever. No, we know where we are going. We have not been spared by Corona. Corona affected everybody world over, and people have been in lockdown for the whole year. It's not just ZPPM. And we have not been able then to mobilize people because we can't reach to them because of Corona. I mean, everybody has been seeing it, unless if we are manufacturing.
Okay, I've got someone here called Jemitias. Jemitias, I need you to turn on your camera. You can't talk to us without your camera on. So please turn on your camera and then we'll talk to you. I'm concerned, Mr. Matapo, that if you don't give us something solid this year, in fact, during this conversation, people are going to find it difficult to figure out where exactly you are going with this, because everyone in Zimbabwe now knows you. They know Zimbabwe People Power Movement. We've done our job to bring you to the people. People know your ideas. For a year, you've been talking. And yet, we are now reaching a point where we don't know what is your next move. And that is a dangerous point, because either what you're doing is not legal or you don't have a plan.
Yeah, well, that is up to the people to actually, figure out. I mean, the point is, we are doing a service to the nation, and the service to the nation is to, help free the people of Zimbabwe, and that freedom cannot just come. It's not brought by one person. It is brought by unity. If people don't want to unite, if people feel that Zimbabwe People Power Movement method is not the best method, it's okay. They can always, I have always come here and said, if there is anyone with a better method that can take power from the evil regime, give it to the people, then we can all follow that person. But if there isn't, here is a plan. And I am not here to say that people are rejecting this plan. No, people are coming in numbers, but we are building up. It's only a question of time. It's only a question of resources. We need resources for us to be able to execute this plan efficiently. If we were an agent of ZANU, then we would be getting money from ZANU. I mean, then we would not be, we would be flashing, moving around with all the monies and whatever. But, well, people are at liberty to look at us in any way they want. If they feel we are agents of ZANU, that's okay. But if they feel they have some other better methods to use, let them use. But those who want freedom, this is the way to get freedom. Otherwise, we are heading nowhere as a nation. We are going to be under ZANU-PF, in perpetuity, unless we unite. We all unite and do something. Use people power. People power is the use of every Zimbabwean demanding that now we are free. And that cannot be done by 10 people. That cannot be done by a small group of people. It has to be done by all Zimbabweans. This is the core. This is what we are saying. And we have to unite. Without it, we can't get there.
Okay, I think let's bring this to an end. This has been the last conversation of 2020, and I want us to wrap this up. Mr. Matapo, give us a definite statement that we can come to. Last year, you said by December, the Mnangagwa will be gone. There will be. You have given a signal. It's December now. You said you couldn't execute. When can we come back to you and say, Mr. Matapo, you said you get rid of Mnangagwa by this date?
Actually, I had given a period of 1 year, and that was not appropriate. That's why I said we made a mistake by announcing even that period, because that announcement on its own does not make it proper for the methods that we use. We have to keep, because you see, you cannot tell an enemy that I'm coming to beat you up, and you expect that enemy to fold arms and let you come and beat that person. No, we do not have, we should not announce any period. Look, it's not a question of us trying to attract Zimbabweans. No, Zimbabweans must understand that this is the way to go. Unless if they have other ways, they can use them. We are not here to persuade the Zimbabweans to be part of Zimbabwe People Power Movement. Zimbabwe People Power Movement is a Zimbabwean citizens movement. It is you and me. We are only, doing a service to the Zimbabweans. Zimbabweans should not expect us to bow down to them and persuade them to free themselves. We are leading something that is genuine, something that is alive. Let us all come together, unite for a purpose, so that we can get somewhere. This is not the first time this has happened. I've always said the Americans used it the same way in 1776. I've said the Filipinos used it the same way in 1986. The Egyptians used it the same way. Some people call it Arab Springs. Some people call it different names. So many countries are using people power to remove dictators. This is the only way we can remove our own dictator who is stealing our resources, making us suffer, making our children suffer, and everything. This is all I can say. Possibly, for those with brains, they should see that this is the way. I know some people might rubbish it, but time will come for them to appreciate it.
Okay, I'm not convinced, Mr. Matapo. For the first time, I'm left wondering what we are going to be seeing from you.
Yeah.
Because normally you were very clear that there will be action on the ground. It will be a clear signal. You'll be the person to give that signal. Suddenly, we've got a vague kind of approach. And as I said, this is quite dangerous because it means either you're doing something that is not legal or there's no plan. And everyone here has got that same view that we are all left hanging now. If
I can't say that is not what you are feeling. It's a feeling that you have. But what we are doing, like I've said, that it has been done in many other countries. If it was illegal, then those countries were doing illegal things. But I don't think it is illegal, because I've said there is, in the Constitution, it is provided for that people in a country, leaders are put by people, and those same leaders can be removed by people. It is not only election that should remove the people. The people can actually demand that the leaders must step down now and now. But it is that voice that we need, and that voice can be done only with unity. It is not a voice that should come only, from few individuals, but everybody must come together and say, Now we are demanding for our rights. This is what has happened in other countries. And why not Zimbabwe? Why are we afraid? Why are we not uniting? So I don't know how this action must be, solid, other than what I am saying. We cannot give deadlines. We cannot give time frame, because that was a mistake when we did that. And also I said the signal will be, clear. Everybody will be able to see the signal, because it will be 100% clear. And, I will be leading it. I will be in front, and you will see. It's not something that we can actually say in every other detail now, because then we will lose the tactic. That's what it is.
Okay, I think let us give people a break so that they can go and prepare for the New Year celebrations. And I want to get to a point where we can say Mr. Matapo is different from Chamisa, is different from Monzora, is different from Kupe in a certain way. You had distinctly separated yourself from everyone else because of your approach.
Yeah.
And now I think we need to redefine. Obviously, I'm one of the people that gave you a lot of platforms since last year. And many people here know you for a specific reason, that you're going to remove Mnangagwa, but we're not going to be using the elections. But it seems like that is not, from what you're saying now, it's now vague. We're no longer clear what is going to happen. And there's also a possibility, people have raised this, that you could be working for a ZANU-PF faction. That question is going to arise now. Are you working for a ZANU-PF faction? You see, that question is arising in people's mind. It's arising in my mind to say, was Matapo working for a faction of ZANU-PF which was trying to distract another faction? So
yeah, well, but that's why I think I've answered that people are allowed to have their own opinions, and if they feel they have evidence enough, and I mean, as long as they can be able to say he is disrupting through this way, then that way, of course, they have right to run away or whatever they want to do. But the point is that will not change the position. If the true position is that we are genuine, then we will remain genuine. But if we are fake, then obviously the taste of the pudding is in the eating. It will be proven as we go. It cannot be just to say they are working for a ZANU faction. To do what? To achieve what? And what can we really achieve by saying we are a social movement and we want to take power from ZANU, and then we behind the scenes we are a faction? To do what? How do we benefit from that? One. Two, how do we disrupt the people? Disrupting what? Those who are going for elections, the political parties can still go for elections. If they are going to be rigged there, something else. We don't have a hand there. I mean, they are going for elections, we don't have a hand. Whatever happens in the election, we don't have a hand. So how, if people join the Zimbabwe People Power Movement, setting up action groups and what have you, waiting for action, they are not stopped from voting. They can still be registering for voting and going and casting their votes, no problem. We don't talk about it. We don't even have anything to do with that. So we cannot stop them from voting. It's their democratic right.
okay, Mr. Matapo, it's been a long discussion. Is there anything else you want to say before we close?
Yes, I just want to say, the people of Zimbabwe, it is up to you to decide, to look at what is right for you and what is wrong for you. If you need freedom, you need to try different methods, different ways of doing it. If there is a better way by which you can attain freedom from ZANU-PF, use it. It does not necessarily mean it should only be Zimbabwe People Power Movement. If anybody comes up with anything that you think is the best way, then go for it. But otherwise, I'm not saying don't cast your votes. You must go and register to vote, go and vote in your millions, but that does not stop Mnangagwa from rigging. If you still feel that ZANU is not rigging, then, well, you can remain there, you know, waiting for elections and elections and elections. But if you feel that ZANU-PF is rigging, then one way you are voting, the other way, try other methods. This is just one method by Zimbabwe People Power Movement. It is not the last method. Anyone can come up with anything that is better. It's okay. We appreciate it. You can go for it like that. That's my word. That's my advice. Otherwise, I wish you the best of all good luck in the new year, 2021.
Okay, Mr. Matapo, I think people have heard you. And what we'll do is that in the new year, we need to continue to talk. We need to look at this new approach. There are many people that have come here on this platform that have said that they'll give a signal in August, they'll give a signal in September. And most of them have not been able to feature after the agreed period to say how they will deliver on this signal. So I don't want people to come back and think you are the same with these people that have came here and said we're going to go into Zimbabwe, we're just going to go and take Mnangagwa out. Because the same people that come here saying the same, they then change, and we've seen some of them now working with Mnangagwa himself.
Mm-hmm.
I think without mentioning names, you know a number of people that came here and said we're going to go in and we're going to take out Mnangagwa, elections don't work. And yet at the end, they actually beg Mnangagwa to forgive them, or they go and we see them working with Mnangagwa himself. And myself, I don't think there's anything wrong with Mnangagwa. He's a government was voted for, he was inaugurated. What we should just not do is to tell people that we're going to do something and then we don't do it.
Of course.
So we need to clarify for people so that we don't raise expectations and then at the end of the day fail to deliver or end up being considered to have been part of the system. Because I know you were in jail for 7 years and you don't want to damage your reputation. If there's been a change of plan, we need to come out clearly and say there's been a change of plan. We are no longer taking that route.
No. This route, we don't change it. We have not changed it, and we are continuing with this route. The only thing that we need is unity. I tell you, it is difficult to unite Zimbabweans because some people take long to understand some of these things. It's simple just to be aware and spread the word. You don't need to go outside, but in your own locality, talk to people, let people understand it, so that then they are the people that we give the actual signal. It's what we talk to people on the ground. And that is what we are doing. Those who are on the ground that we have had contact with on the ground, as we are talking like this, they are saying, because they really understand what is going on. So many people understand. We have had several workshops, training workshops, and those who have participated in those workshops, they really understand what is happening and where we are going.
Right, Mr. Albet Matapo from the Zimbabwe People Power Movement, and to everyone who's watching, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And this has been the last broadcast of 2020. And Mr. Matapo, as you know, we did a lot of broadcasts in 2019, and obviously we're here discussing this. Our country is in a deep crisis. No one here doubts that there's a deep crisis. We put out a job today, one job application, one job advert.
Yes.
And within 1 hour, we had received 50 graduates who applied to that job. And this is sad because when I was in a student in 2001, I graduated. I was working 2 jobs when I was a student. When I graduated, I was working at a company in Harare. I moved jobs quite swiftly. And I was able to buy my first house within a year, my first car within 6 months. These things are not happening anymore. Our guys in Zimbabwe are struggling. And we want a solution. That's why people listen to you. They want you to give a solution.
Sure.
So you have a heavy responsibility upon yourself.
We definitely need a solution. Just talking is not enough, and we need to act. But the only way we can do it is to unite. It is the unity that we are lacking as Zimbabweans. It is just that unity. Otherwise, freedom is around the corner, but we cannot get to it if we don't unite, because it needs everybody to be part and parcel of what is going on.
Right, Mr. Matapo, thank you very much. And to everyone who's watching, thank you very much. Please enjoy your New Year celebrations, and we'll see you again next year.
Thank you very much. Thank you.